All right, guys, here we go. Back on the dirt bike out here at Eugene MX for my second trip up to Eugene. This will be the start of the second session. Good 4 sessions today, 15-minute motos. Great day on the dirt bike. So this makes for a busy weekend this weekend for me, as I drove to Reading on Saturday for my first ride at Stillwater MX. Had a great time up there. Good little road trip. Drove back to the house so I could get up early on Sunday and drive out here to Eugene. Luckily I had Monday off, so it wasn't, I had at least 8 days of recovery before I had to go back to work. Yeah, the trip up to Eugene rained most of the way up here. I was a little concerned with what the dirt was going to look like up here. It's very clay based, and I thought for sure it was going to be slippery, but I was wrong. The dirt, once again, was perfect. The stuff with the moisture in it like this, it's like riding on Velcro. I don't know how else to describe it. It's hard to break the rear end free. This dirt is amazing. So much traction. It really, you end up fighting arm pump a little bit because you're just dealing with how hard the bike pulls coming out of corners and on the straights and everything. It's just, it's a lot of fun. This is some good dirt. Now I'm sure there's a limit to that. I can imagine if it was raining out here, actively raining, the water, you could get some standing water and it would get slippery, I would imagine. But I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. I was pleasantly surprised to see that it was not a muddy mess up here. Big shout out to the track crew. They did an awesome job on it. So the first session I didn't record anything on. We had kind of jumped into it and there weren't a lot of people here, so we kind of thought it was just an open practice. I don't know if it was an open practice or not, but we were in there with the fast guys and I wasn't jumping anything, just like I'm not really jumping anything in the second session. And yeah, it's kind of funny. The first session out here, both times I've been here, I always end up feeling like a true beginner, like I have no idea what I'm doing. Especially when you end up with the faster guys that do know what they're doing. And I was just basically trying not to be in the way the whole time I was out there. So in this one, we're in the slow big bike class. And it's a little more, there's lots of guys in it, but it's definitely more my speed. Because I ain't got no skills. Different layout this time from the last time I was here. Last time I was here, I felt like the track was pretty simple. It had some challenging jumps, but nothing too crazy. This time they've got a couple of doubles in here that took me a while to figure out. This one in particular, it's not really big, but there's not much of a run up to it, so you have to hit it and basically seat bounce it, which is fine, but it just takes me a bit to get comfortable with that stuff. And when I'm having fun not jumping it, I don't put a lot of pressure on myself to go out there and hit it. Yeah, this jump was more of a roller the last time I was here, but it's got a little bit of lip to it, so you get to jump it now, and then they turn this into this little triple thing. It's crazy. And then a couple of these little tiny rollers afterwards. And you come around here, you have this little step down, which is in all reality really easy, but again, it's kind of a mind over matter sort of thing. You can't see the landing when you go off of that, so it just takes you a bit to figure it out. The rest of the track is pretty much the same as it was last time I was here. But it's pretty cool they changed it up. I thought it was fun. Kept me challenged, for sure. But yeah, after the first session, riding with some faster guys out there, feeling like I was definitely didn't belong out there. I wasn't sure if I was going to gel with it this week. Because I absolutely fell in love with it you know, what was it, a month ago I was out here? Something like that. Just fell in love with the track, thought it was amazing. Loved the dirt. This time, after the first session, I was really shaking my head. What? But I was pretty sore from riding Stillwater the day before, and the long drive, you know, from Reading to home, and from home to Eugene. All of that kind of built up on me, and just took me a little bit to shake it off. Starting to feel a little better here in this second session. Well, way better than I did than in the first session. But I'm still not comfortable enough to be jumping stuff, which really that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Better to be safe than sorry. That's what I say. We'll get it figured out. You may notice they took the whoops out that were here last time, right through this section here. I kind of like the way it is without them. It's just kind of a little uphill straight, and you can just kind of open the bike up and let her go. A little over jump there. Yeah, this little thing was really, really complicated to figure out, and I never did. I never did get that double or triple if you look at it that way. And I'm kind of sizing this thing up, but I want to have a lot of room around me before I do it. Because I don't want to, like I said before, if I go down, I don't want to take anybody with me. I just cannot get over how sticky this dirt is. I've never, you know, I rode Stillwater the day before, and I was like, oh, this is kind of that red clay stuff like up in Eugene, but it really is nothing compared to Eugene. Eugene is, it's its own kind of thing. It's crazy. There was great traction up in Reading, but nothing like this stuff. When I say the back tire is hard to break free, I really mean it. You do get some roost thrown at you, but it's nothing like if it was powdery. Obviously, right? Geez, that was stupid. I don't even know what I'm saying. I kind of link up with this guy here, kind of running similar speeds. Neither one of us jumping a whole lot. And he was riding really well. Kind of had a fun little battle with him for a lap or two. He was running a good pace, as neither one of us were jumping any of the jumps. So yeah, it was fun to link up with him and run his pace for a bit. Help pull me around the track and get my pace up to speed. Now what the camera doesn't show you is how choppy it is. It gets some pretty good braking bumps, not the huge deep braking bumps like you'll see at Moto 541, but just a lot of chop in the track. It just your suspension can't absorb, and it just destroys your hands basically. I find it's better to ride aggressively and go fast than it is to kind of go slow like I did in the first session. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. I'm trying here. I'm not perfect. I'm trying to explain to you what's going on. I don't really know what's going on. I'm just out riding my dirt bike. Just watching this one makes me want to go back. I'm ready to go back and ride some more. So Eugene typically, from what I can tell, only practices about once a month. And then they'll have a weekend of racing that may include a practice day. I'd have to look at the schedule. I can't remember. Or maybe it's 2 days of racing. Practice on Saturday, race on Sunday. I don't remember. But they're not open a whole lot. My understanding is they get some complaints from the neighbors about dust, noise, and all that other stuff. There are quite a few houses around here. I'm sure that the track's been here probably 100 years, and the houses slowly started creeping up around it, but it's a beautiful area, and it's too bad that they don't get to run more out here. I don't think they run it in the summer at all due to dust. I don't know if they have an agreement with the city and the neighbors and all that to where they can run some during the winter. The dirt holds up pretty good for winter stuff, so that's good. But yeah, unfortunate. But luckily they're able to keep it open and keep spinning laps. So I'll keep trying to support them whenever I can. It's only about a 3-hour drive for me, so it's not horrible. But yeah, how would you like to have this in your backyard? That'd be pretty awesome. That's what I need to do, buy a house really close to it. Get in good with them. I'm getting tired. It's been a long day. We're only in the second session, but I'm getting tired. Alright, sizing this thing up. Maybe on the next lap I'll get that one. It's funny too because, like I said, the jump isn't very hard, but still a little bit of a mental battle for me. Like I've been saying, I've ridden a lot of track this year and feel much more comfortable jumping, but I am still not good at it. And at my age, I probably never will be good at it, but I just kind of manage it. Yeah, so as I started to allude to earlier, the dirt when you get wristed here hurts. It's like, it's clay, it's heavy, and it's pretty substantial when you get hit by it. Luckily, there's not a ton of roost here, so you don't get pelted too bad, but you'll still get it. Just not a lot of run up to this one, and it's kind of, the landing is a little bit steep, a little steeper than I'm used to, a little steeper than I'd like to see it. But really, that's just all in my head. This outside is pretty fun. It's a pretty good little rut right there. You can just rail around. Last time I was here, I didn't even get that tabletop down. Just because I never built up a lot of speed after the whoops, and I don't know, I just didn't hit it hard enough, I guess. This guy, watch this guy. Sometimes that's all you need to finally figure out you're going to send a jump. I watch this guy do it, and I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm doing it, next lap. I saw his speed. It takes 0 speed to clear this jump, so yeah, that was awesome. He nailed it too. Nice and clean, and that's what I'm looking for. I don't want no trouble. So yeah, he kind of helped motivate me. Okay, next lap, we're doing that one. Time to start clicking these things off. Winding down in the second session. And then the checkered flag comes out. Alright, I'll get it in the next session. That'll do it for session 2. Session 3, back in the big slow bike class. Let's go for it. I gotta get that one too, that little triple. Not that big of a jump, but you know, risk reward sort of deal. That's my excuse for everything. So I'm sizing some jumps up here, but I need some room, right? I can totally feel the speeds there. I totally got that. Just have to do it. Need a little room. These little rollers are right. Kind of wish they'd do a section of rollers right there rather than just those two little singles. Okay, here we go. Nah, I just need a little more room. Boy, I've got all the excuses. I'm totally fine with getting some of this stuff, but I do want a little more space. That's my excuse right now. Look at this guy. He doesn't weigh 100 pounds on that 450. I'm riding it pretty well. Probably holding on to that thing better than I'm holding on to mine. Lots of chop. You can see some of the chop you get in through here. That's all over the track, really. It is kind of funny after you. Oh, here we go, triple. Nailed it. That was a hard lander. I think that was a pretty clean transition right there, but it was a pretty hard landing. Brad told me it was a pretty hard landing no matter how you do it. Under jump it, over jump it, or whatever, and I found that to be very true. Not quite enough space to try it on this lap. We'll get it on the next one. A little bit of rear end kick out on that Cowie in front of me. I don't even know how you can do that on this track. There's just too much traction. Get that little tabletop from the inside. Yeah, maybe a little section of rollers like Moto 541 has right there. That'd be pretty good. Alright, let's just do this one now. Let's just roll off of it and get her done. There we go. That only took half the day. Oh no, you can see Brad rolling up on me. He's starting to catch up to me. It's because he's going faster than I am. That's the problem. But I'm having a lot of fun. Alright, so we got the triple after the finish line. We got the little step down. We're making progress. It's funny when you're riding, you feel like you're going a lot faster than when you watch this video back. Okay, I come up a little bit short there, and it was still a hard run. But yeah. It's like, I feel like I'm going pretty fast until I watch my video back, and I feel like I'm shutting off the throttle too soon and rolling it back on too late. Okay, I should have hit it here. I should have hit it. I had room, and I just checked. That's really what happened. I was just kind of like, maybe next time. I don't think I can make my bike go any faster through that section. Get a little squirrely down there in the mud. Gonna have to bow out on this one. Not really wanting to land on anybody, if we can help it. Hold it tight inside here and see if we can't make a pass. That tabletop there is not super big, but it takes a lot of throttle to get over it, that's for sure. Okay, that's 3 times in a row, and that time I over jumped it a small amount, and yeah, it hurts no matter how you do it. I'm probably gonna bow out of that one. It's just not worth it. That's too much. Wears me out too much to try to absorb that lane. Oh, I was gonna do it right there, but that guy on the Honda was right there, so I had to check up. I'm holding a fairly good pace here. I'm trying to go fast. And yeah, doing all right. The good news is I have a lot that I can improve on. Get this. Whoa, whoa! Oh man, I don't know that I needed to do that. Not with somebody that close. Turned out totally fine, but it scared me for a second that he was coming over. I was definitely jumping to the right, but it looked like he was coming to the right a little bit too. But we're fine. We're good. I don't know that sticking to this rut right here was the fast line through that corner. I mean, it worked out fine, but I think just going outside of that rut, I tried it a few times, was probably a little quicker. It just took me further to the outside than I really wanted to end up, which I don't really know why. So I'm done hitting that one. My wrist is still hurting from that. You see that front wheel? Yeah, he's coming. He just goes around the outside of me like I wasn't even trying. But he does tow me over this, so I'm pretty happy about that. Didn't even hesitate. I just said, let's do it. See if we can keep up with him for a few laps. Brad's riding pretty good. This is his backyard track, but he doesn't have a lot of time on it, so I can't use that as an excuse. I think he's been here maybe once, maybe 2 more times than I have. Brad's riding really well. He figures out all the jumps way before I do. I get a little nose high there. We're all good though. We're safe. We ended up having a couple of good little battles like this. Just the 4th session, which unfortunately I didn't record. I turned the camera off instead of on. Happens sometimes, but yeah, I missed that one, but we spent most of that one doing the same thing, just kind of following each other around the track. It was a good time. I was going to take my inside there, so I'm going to go outside and just lose a bunch of bike lengths. Yeah, I'm just not going fast enough to rail that outside to make it work. I think inside is faster there all the way around. Unless you need that extra run up to clear the jump, I don't see that. See, he's still doing that triple back there, which gave him a couple more bike lengths on me, so I'm just trying to reel him back in here. I don't want to make it easy on him. Whoa! I missed the rear brake on that one. Yeah, it scared me for a second, but I knew I had it. It was in the bag. Inside, get that tabletop almost clean, not perfect, but good enough. Look at this, he does the little triple. It's pretty happy for him. I don't want to do that. I'm just not there today, especially. But that kind of knocked the wind out of my sails a little bit. Every time I catch up to him, he does another jump that I'm not doing, and then gets a couple bike lengths on. And I'm getting a little tired too, so we are resting up a bit. But then at the same time, I don't want to give him, I don't want him to look behind him and see that he's gapped me by 40 bike lengths, so I've got to try to stay with him a little bit. See the checkered flag coming out here, so I'm just going to send it. And that's it for this one, guys. So if you've watched it this far, thanks for watching, and until the next one, I'm out.